Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is stock chart analysis. This is an update video for Cliffs Natural Resources, Caterpillar, 3D Systems, and SSYS. Today is September 2nd, Tuesday, September 2nd. And we're going to take a look at that and at these four stocks and look at their weekly charts also with these. Okay, let's start off here with Cliffs Natural Resources. The last time I did the update video was on the 19th, and so the data would have been through the 18th in here, and I said I was expecting a minor wave 2 pullback. Well, we continued to get this minor wave 2 pullback, and if you remember, I had adjusted my count and felt like we had 5 minute waves up in here to a minor wave 1. We're looking for this to be going, you know, to the upside. That's what we're looking for. And so let's take a look at the weekly chart just so we can refresh our memory here. When I look at this, I do think that we had this wave 1 here. Call it cycle wave 1 because it covered numerous years from, 86 into 98, so about 12 years, 11, 12 years, and we get this pullback into cycle wave 2. Then we get this dramatic, very strong 3 that we always think about, 3 being the strongest, and this was in that big commodity blow-off that we had into 2007, 2008, when oil went to $150 a barrel and all the commodities, everything was going sky high, okay? Now we've got this correction, and I think we're in this A, B, C. And I think what we're trying to do is bottom in here, okay? So let me get out of that. Let me go back to my mouse. And if you remember correctly, we saw the divergence that was occurring on this last move down, okay? And let me blow it up so you can see it a little bit better. This is why on a weekly chart, we were seeing this divergence occurring, which was making me believe that we had 5 waves and that we're now trying to go up. Now, again, it's always choppy trying to get going on that first wave. So here we are, and now we've pulled back, and it is 11:30 Central Time here in Texas, and so the market's been open 3 hours, and Cliffs has taken out the low by 9 cents. Okay, down in here. So it's still bottoming. It could be just pulling back to this trend line, which it did, on Friday. But again, it was interesting. One of my readers, I think it might have been Chris, one of my subscribers, mentioned to me that this. He posted a comment on the website saying, "Well, hey, this pulled all the way back 61.8% of this move," and he was right on. I mean, that is exactly where, and it got a little bounce. The thing about it is the risk that you're playing in here is that you, on a wave 2, can literally go all the way back down to here, which is the lowest 13.6. So if you're willing to assume that risk, you can jump in and start to wade into the stock. But it is always the possibility that this could be doing something different and breaks this low. So that is your risk that you have to assume. You'd have to put your stop down below here, right below this low. Now, I'm looking to see. I mean, almost looks like, this might have been a 1, 2, and maybe we're doing a third wave down in a zigzag correction, which is what you'd like to see on a wave 2. So I'm still watching this, waiting for the turn to the upside. All right, let's take a look at Caterpillar. Caterpillar, I'm now thinking that, I think in the last time I felt like this might have been 5 waves up in here, 5 minor waves, like a 3 here, 4, 5, and that we were then topping out and 1, 2 down. I'm now thinking as I revise, as I look more closely at this, I like the fact that if I do this with a minute wave here, 1, you get a sharp 2, which is what you typically, that's the usual mode that you get out of 2, okay? Now I think we're in this 3 here, and then you're getting a flat correction 4, and then this is a minute wave 5 up into a minor wave 3. So that would mean that we had 1, 2, kind of complex, 3, and then we would, if this was complex, okay, and sideways complex, then I'm expecting a zigzag out of this. And we got 5 small waves in here down. That tells me that if that's the case, and it sure looks like it, that would be A, and that usually means that you're going to have a zigzag, which means this is B, and we should have the expectation, and what I'm now looking for is that this will come back down and do some kind of like this and come back down, and actually might come right down to this trend line. This trend line is a parallel to the top of 1 and the top of 3, okay? And you draw the parallel to the bottom of 2, and that's where I'm looking for 4 to come in. And then we go up in 5. So that's what I'm now looking at here for Caterpillar. It's interesting, the last time we talked, again, it was, let me get rid of this. The last time we talked was on the 19th, or the update video was on the 19th. Why is it not doing that? Oh. I'm locking up for some reason. Oh, it didn't erase, that's why. There we go. Thanks for the cooperation there. Okay. So the last time we talked was on the 18th, and it was on, I produced the video on the 19th, so we had the data through this day right here. And I said, okay, we're coming up. It's a good chance we're going to get this gap close, okay, which means you trade to at least the bottom of this point here, which is exactly what we did on the 21st, and we've kind of just struggled since then. Okay, so now I'm expecting this to top and pull and turn around and come back down. And today, CAT is currently just down 3 cents. So pretty much unchanged here 3 hours into the trading day on the 2nd of September. So that's my best assessment of CAT. And when you look at CAT on a weekly basis, it's kind of, it's just doing this kind of funky, this whole move in here. This is my best assessment that we're getting some kind of complex correction coming off of this move, coming off the bottom here from 2009. And so we'll just have to watch to see if this is truly what we end up getting. But back here on the daily chart, this seems to make sense to me. So this is what I'm looking for right now. See if there's anything else. Got the gap close. Talking about this will be, since 5 waves, zigzag, which means C will come down. And I think that's it on CAT. All right, let's take a look at 3D systems. 3D systems. Okay, remember we were talking about, we thought we had 5 primary waves up, and now we're in this big corrective mode. Let me zoom out of this just a little bit so you understand the A, B, C, W, because we continue to do a 3-wave correction in here. And so I called it X. And then at the time, where is the 18th, 19th? Right in here. We were kind of going sideways, and I said, I was looking for a bounce, and we continued to get that bounce up into here. And the signal that was interesting when we saw the indicators were starting to break. The demand index broke the trend line. The RSI, which was really clear, broke the trend line on this day, on the 13th. So it gave a preliminary signal that, hey guys, we're getting ready to move here. And that was on the 13th that the RSI broke. So on this close right back in here, and then look at the nice move that we've had since then. Now the real question is this just a 3-wave little move, counter trend, and and this is B. Okay, so if this is continuing to correct, that's exactly what I'm expecting, that we're going to get something like, that this was there, and then we're going to get this B, and then we're going to get, C. So that's, if the correction scenario plays out, that's what we're going to be getting. let me see, take a look at the weekly, just so you understand. We hadn't looked at it in a month. Okay, the big picture on the weekly chart, and I believe this is all the trading on 3D systems. Impulse wave 1, very complex sideways for, you know, all of these years, 12, 13 years, 14 years actually, till it actually bottomed. Then this really strong wave 3. And again, I believe we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up, and that we are now in this corrective mode, which means you have to correct this impulse wave. Okay, so you know the real question then is to how far down is it going to go in terms of the correction. And the other thing to think about is that if we are in impulse wave 4, okay, correcting, it's usually the opposite of impulse wave 2. So if this is very complex and sideways move, this should be a zigzag sharp correction is what this actually should be. And so what this may be here is a form of a zigzag, and that's what we just kind of have to, you know, keep on the lookout for, that we could be doing it like this with the combination of corrections in here. So I'm not willing to say, hey, it's time to get long in here. I'm just not sure that the correction is really over. When you see 3 waves like this is definitely corrective. The first wave needs to be a 5-wave move up to be in the first direction of an impulse. So right now, I think we're still in a corrective mode. So that's the thing to be wary of. Okay, the last one we're going to take a look at is SSYS. And SSYS, I said, you know, last time I said, again, like where was the 19th? Let's do it. So we were right in here. Okay, this was the last day on the chart, right in here. And so we had just pulled back after this big gap move up here. Okay, very strong. And so this looked like just a typical counter trend type move, and so we've continued to get this move to the upside. And what I had said was, if we get this move and break this trend line, it almost looks like a cup and handle, you know, which implies that you're going to break and go. Okay, so that seems to be what's playing out, and there's no reason to believe otherwise in here. It has stayed above the 10. The 10's above the 21, above the 55. We're starting to break back above the 233. It looks good. And so therefore this reinforces the fact that I think we had a primary wave 1. Minor wave 1, minor wave 2. And that, again, I think we are in a 5th wave, okay? So this is wave 5 up here that we're playing out. And so now we are in wave 3, okay? If that makes sense. Okay, that's my best assessment of what's going on. The other thing to think about is that we've got some kind of consolidating pattern in here that is like a head and shoulders that could be playing out. Now this got a little bit deeper, but not too much actually when you draw lines parallel in. And then that would imply a big move coming up here for the final 5th wave. Now that may be a little too bullish given that this is wave 5, but you never know. You can't rule it out. So right now, it looks like all systems go on SSYS unless something else starts to develop. But again, given the way the price action, I don't see something that I want to jump in on yet. I look for a little bit of a pullback, kind of a setup. Now, granted, we had this. We could have been a little bit more aggressive in here, but that's just not exactly what I was looking for. It didn't quite play out to what I was looking for. But anyway, that's my best assessment of where I think SSYS is, and we'll have to see what kind of price action. Let me see where it's at today. It's actually up 73 cents at 120.69, and yeah, of course Friday's high is 121.65. The high today 121.75. So it took out the high by 10 cents today, a little bit. So it's continuing to push to the upside. Okay, that's it for the update today. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. Again, share the video on social media And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Just click on the little red box, first name and an email, and you'll be good to go, and you'll be a part of the tribe and access everything on the website. All right, we will see you on the next video.